Welcome back. 7 people have been shot and killed in a suspected incident of extortion in Philippi outside Cape Town. 3 others were injured in last night's attack at the Marikana Informal Settlement. Police say they've launched a manhunt for the gunmen who fled shortly after that shooting. Western Cape Police Commissioner Thembisile Patekile is expected to visit the crime scene today. Newzroom Afrika's Zoleka Qodashe is in Philippi and joins us live. Zoleka, very good morning to you. So we've seen incidences of extortion increase across the country over the last few months. I believe you are with the Provincial Police Commissioner just to give us more details with regards to this particular incident.
That's correct, Katlego. Good morning and good morning to the viewers. And we are under the scorching sun in Philippi East at the Marikana Township. And as the sun rose today, it also rose on the tragedy that has bedeviled this particular community after the death of and murder of 8 people. I'm just going to bring in the Provincial Commissioner of the Western Cape, Lieutenant General Thembisile Patekile, just to speak to us about what exactly happened here. We understand, PC, that it is 8 people, as you told me off air.
Yeah. Good morning to you and the viewers out there. Just midnight, just 12:15 this morning, people were drinking in this shipping, and when more than 3 men came in and they started firing and shooting at them, 6 of those perished inside this shack, and 3 were taken to hospital. One died on his way in an ambulance, and the other one was then died in hospital. Leaving 2 now that are still critically injured in hospital.
Now, we understand that this may be an extortion-related incident.
Our investigation revealed that the motive was extortion, and we are now looking for people that we know, where the team is on their heels now to find them. The group of extortionists that came in here to do what they've done. But we're looking for them now. We know. We're not just now saying we're looking. We know who we're looking for. It's a question of finding them. But what we're also requesting the community is not to work with the extortionists or the people that are collecting money. And especially in these informal settlements, the illegal ship-ins and spaza shops, which are very vulnerable, they should report to the police. We have a toll-free number that we don't pay. It's an 0800 314444. And that number has been working in the Western Cape for a while, and we've been successful in getting these extortionists and these groupings that are collecting protection money from the people. But what we know is that now in this Marikana, there are groupings that are collecting money. We request the community to assist us there. Report it. We don't need your name. You just tell us who they are, when are they collecting, where are they collecting, and we have our skills to find them. And we've been successful in that point. But we want now, even now, to arrest the situation. But we can only do so if it is reported by the community. Extortion is one of the underreported crime in the society, especially in the Western Cape.
PC, tell me, this particular establishment that faced this brutal attack in the early hours of this morning, was it a registered establishment?
It is not. It's an informal settlement, and now we know it's a ship-in. And when we were doing our festive season operation, we personally walked here. We couldn't find anything. But what we suggest to us is that the neighbors are keeping the liquor for this place. Because last night there were people drinking here, and they were found drinking. And when the police arrived on the scene, they found liquor in the places, which when this place is visited, we don't find liquor. So suggesting that the communities are complacent in assisting these people that are operating illegally to store liquor. And illegal ship-ins are problematic places for us, as much as liquor in itself it's problematic in our crimes in the Western Cape. But these illegal shippings are a big problem, especially also in the legal sponsor shops, because there are many things happening in those areas.
So, PC, the difficulty then is that if these are illegal establishments, you would understand why those people would not report the extortionists to the police, as well as the fact that the extortionists are taking advantage of the fact that they know that they are unable to report those particular matters to the police. We have micro-level extortion as well as macro, but in this particular instance, it becomes difficult for these people to actually reach out to the police because of that. And now what is being done to also arrest that particular situation of illegal establishments?
We've been successful in collecting the liquor and arresting the illegal shippings. And I think for December, more than 300 of those that were closed and taken liquor. But you only do that when you find liquor. But what has been very diplomatic in this one, tactically, was the fact that they were not keeping the liquor, and the liquor is stored somewhere that we suspect that it's been stored somewhere, because when you get there, there have been policemen visiting, they say they don't find liquor. And I was saying personally, I was here in December, just before Christmas, there wasn't a liquor in this place. But now we see that there's liquor. That tells us that the neighborhood, liquor is stored neighborhood. We can't be storing far to sell here. And when the people need liquor, it must be within the area, the reachable area to sell it. That's where now we've got to focus ourselves and our intelligence working on that. But every time you close one, there is one mushrooming this side, and especially in illegal. But many of those that are illegal, they assist us in reporting the extortions in the other areas, and even here in Marikana at some time. So the fact that they are illegal, but they should not, because we want to prevent life from being lost. That's very important. Yes, they are illegal, but at the same time, if they are not cooperating with the police, we'll end up with this thing that could have been prevented had that been reported.
PC, so there's also the difficulty in containing the situation because there isn't... if, for example, it operates sort of like a business model, right? So you have extortionists that come and target these owners of these establishments, but that's not like that's the only extortionist that will be at the doorstep of the residents here, which means that it becomes a perpetual problem. How are you dealing with that?
We have prevented some where the groupings, they trade like also competing on the same victims, and then they will start shooting at that, or we would prevent that shooting. Many of the times also, these victims would say, the ones that are collecting, they would tell that the other ones are coming to collect. And then that is one of the problems that they're not telling us. They're telling them so they can shoot themselves, each other. At the time, we've seen that manifesting in many areas, especially in the Cape Flats. But what we've been able to do was to be assisted by the communities, CPFs and neighborhood watches and everybody that works, and even other people that they hate this thing from, because they are children, they get involved, they get affected, either like now. You got 8 people that were drinking. It's in legal shipping, but they were drinking. Their only offense was to drink in illegal shipping. But the illegal shipping remains illegal shipping. Had it been reported that they are being extorted, would have been prevented.
PC, so let's zoom in on the owner of this establishment, right? You said 8 people were gunned down, and of course the questions around the owner of the establishment, as well as the other victims that were subjected to this tragedy. What are the ages that we're looking at? And let's also zoom into the owner of the establishment.
The owner, who is also deceased, and her assistant, is the only woman that was killed amongst the 8. 7 are all men between 30 and 43. Many of them, they are unknown for now. All we know is the 2. The owner, who is deceased, and the assistants. Then the rest of the people, we still have to verify and identification parade and identification of the deceased in the mortuaries. So we don't know now who they are because we haven't had any families coming forward to say my child is missing or my child was in that tribute.
Thank you so much, PC. That was the Western Cape Provincial Commissioner for Police, Thembisile Patekile. And I'm just going to ask Lance, my colleague, to just show us the particular establishment that was subjected to the tragedy in which 8 people were gunned down, as confirmed by Lieutenant General Patekile, saying essentially that it was an extortion-linked incident in which we understand the owner of this illegal establishment, it was not the first time that the suspect or the person of interest in this matter had visited this particular illegal establishment asking for protection money. Of course, Katlego, it remains a topic for investigations for police. You'll remember, as according to the Lieutenant General, that they are still trying to ascertain the details of the other 6 people that were gunned down in this incident, in which the owner is also one of the deceased. Katlego.
All right, that's Zoleka Qodashe out in the Western Cape speaking to the provincial commissioner there, and him urging communities not to work with extortionists, but rather to report them to that hotline being 0800 31 4444.